This is KVUE News Daybreak.
It's a warm and humid start to our Sunday morning, and we're already seeing thunderstorms on the radar. We'll tell you where they'll go later today.
More unrest in Missouri this morning. People arrested as shots ring out. Those protesters not letting up anytime soon. And a candidate for Governor Perry's spot comments on his felony charges during a stop in Central Texas. Good morning and thank you for watching KVUE Weekend Daybreak. I'm Tina Shively in for Jade Mingus. It is 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. Tear gas and gunfire. Chaos continues into the morning hours right now in Ferguson, Missouri. There, a statewide curfew got ignored by protesters and police took action. They fired off smoke and tear gas to control the big crowd. They also arrested 7 people. We're told 1 person was shot and police are still looking for that shooter this morning. Governor Jay Nixon issued a state of emergency yesterday in Missouri. All of these protests stem from the shooting death of black teenager Michael Brown. The unarmed man was shot and killed by a white police officer 1 week ago. Here in Texas, Governor Perry is defending his actions after being charged with felonies by a Travis County grand jury. At a press conference yesterday, he said his actions were lawful and he calls the charges partisan theatrics. The Texas Democratic Party disagrees. Some of its members are calling for his resignation. KVUE's Amber Downing has that story.
Allowing no time for the dust to settle, Governor Rick Perry on Saturday afternoon publicly defends himself and his actions.
I wholeheartedly and unequivocally stand behind my veto, and I'll continue to defend this lawful action of my executive authority as governor.
Friday, a Travis County grand jury charged Perry with 2 felonies. 1 count of abuse of official capacity and 1 count of coercion of a public servant. The charges stem from Perry's threat to hold back $7.2 million from the Public Integrity Unit headed by Travis County District Attorney Rosemary Lemberg. Perry threatened to veto funds if she didn't step down after a 2013 DWI conviction.
Just as I have, following every legislative session during my service as governor, I exercise this authority to veto funding for an office whose leadership had lost the public's confidence by acting inappropriately and unethically.
Police pulled over Lemberg for driving while intoxicated in 2013. She was found to be 3 times over the legal limit and served about 3 weeks for her conviction. Minutes after Perry's press conference, the Texas Democratic Party responded.
She has faced her time. She has suffered the consequences of her decision. At the end of the day, what the governor tried to do today is run away from the music. He's tried to escape from a reality in which he abused his authority.
Democrats continue to pressure Perry for his resignation following the formal charges on Friday, insisting this was not a Democratic pull for power.
It was a Republican special prosecutor. I don't think that there were political motivations at all. I think the only way that politics is being played in this case is when the governor went after the Public Integrity Unit to try and shut down funding.
We don't settle political differences with indictments in this country. It is outrageous that some would use partisan political theatrics to rip away at the very fabric of our state's Constitution.
An embattled governor vowing to protect his name and his actions.
That was Amber Downing reporting. If convicted, Governor Perry could face up to 99 years for the abuse of official capacity charge and 2 years to 10 years for the coercion of a public servant charge. Well, San Antonio lawyer Michael McCrum is the special prosecutor in this case. He gave a statement after Governor Perry's press conference saying, quote, "I feel sorry for the governor and having such a distorted perspective. He should pay attention to the charges. These charges are very serious. There is evidence to support them, and there is nothing political about what happened in my investigation or the grand jury's deliberations." Senator Wendy Davis was in Pflugerville on Saturday for an event at the home of one of her supporters. Reporters asked the Democratic candidate for governor what she thought about Perry's indictment.
The charges that were brought down by the grand jury are very, very serious charges, and I trust that in the course of the coming days and weeks and months, the justice system will do its job.
Governor Perry is expected to turn himself into the Travis County Jail as soon as tomorrow to be booked, fingerprinted, and have his mugshot taken. We will continue to follow this story for you as it develops. You can stay with it here with KVUE on air and also online at kvue.com. Well, it is another muggy August morning out there. KVUE Storm Team meteorologist Lene Meyer joins us now. She's got a look at your first forecast. Hey, Lene.
Hey, Tina. It does not feel great outside. It is warm and muggy, and it's one of those mornings where you kind of think maybe I'll just stay inside. And that may not be a bad idea if you're in Fredericksburg, Llano, or Mason. That's where we're seeing our showers and even a few thunderstorms on the radar right now. In fact, just to the east in Kimball County, eastern Kimball County, we've seen up to 3 to 4 inches of rain this morning, and that's prompted the National Weather Service to issue a flash flood warning. You can see where it turns in red right about there. That was some heavy rainfall. Now, this is becoming lighter, but through the day today, we are expecting the opportunity for more showers and thunderstorms across a good portion of central Texas. So moving towards 9 a.m., still very warm and humid with temperatures in the upper 70s, even some low 80s. By noontime, the heat begins to return, low 90s, moving to the upper 90s. And by this afternoon into this evening, we see those chances for showers moving up to about 30%. So we're going to keep the rain chances in the forecast for today still hot and humid as well. It's just going to be one of those days where you have to watch the radar pretty closely and the thermometer as well. We'll talk more about the details and more triple-digit heat on the way coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Lene, thank you so much. Another plane is shot down in Ukraine, this time a Ukrainian fighter plane. We're told it was taken down by separatists fighting with pro-Russian rebels and Ukrainian government forces in the country's east. The pilot was ejected and taken to a safe place. Now, fighting in Ukraine has grown since April, with government troops taking back rebel-held territory. A Palestinian negotiator says his side is, quote, less optimistic on indirect talks with Israel over the Gaza war, as a deadline on a temporary ceasefire looms. The team arrived in Egypt this morning. Israeli officials are expected to arrive later on today. A current ceasefire in the war is due to expire tomorrow night. A sticking point is Hamas's insistence that Israel pledge to end its Gaza blockade before talks finish. Close to 2,000 Palestinians have been killed, many civilians, and more than 10,000 people have been hurt since this all began in July. The head of the United Nations Nuclear Watchdog Organization has arrived in Iran for talks with the president. The Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency landed in Tehran yesterday. They will now visit with Iran's foreign minister and the head of its nuclear agency. World powers are still trying to negotiate with the Islamic Republic for a permanent deal over its nuclear program. Iran says its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. And U.S. officials say fighter planes have attacked Islamic State militants who have taken over Iraq's largest dam. It was to support humanitarian efforts there and also to protect U.S. personnel. 9 airstrikes so far have destroyed or damaged armored carriers, armed vehicles, and Humvees. The Islamic State captured that dam in northern Iraq earlier this month. Damage in Dallas. Storms sweep across North Texas, leaving behind some downed trees, and roofs were ripped off. And even though it might not be burning hot outside, children are still getting burned out here on the playground. We'll explain why. And also, the Texas Humane Heroes are here in studio with this little guy. Look at his bow tie. It's Rojo. We'll hear more about him when we come back. Daybreak time now is 8:08.